Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in between and adjacent, welcome to the Rush Rundown, what I believe is the first and only 10-minute testing ripoff for Rush Duels. Today on the Rush Rundown, we're taking a look at a deck that really hits it out of the park. A real home run of a strategy that certainly doesn't strike out. That's right, today we're continuing our coverage of all the brand new decks by taking a look at baseball.
Now then, what will you do?
What any red-blooded American would do. Hit something and play ball!
This is the part of the video where I tell you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. That's right, today we're taking a look at the brand new deck that came out with the Yuka Goha Unlock event, Baseball. So this baseball deck is actually pretty funny. It's not really notorious in a bad way, notorious in a good way, as something that Yu-Gi-Oh fans always bring up as being Rush is so wacky, Rush is so crazy, because as you can see right here, that it is baseballified Utopia. Yes, if you play Speed Duel, you're obviously very familiar with Utopia, with the absolutely heinous skill they've given this deck. Or if you're a fan of just the TCG, you're definitely familiar with Utopia and Utopia Double for the OTK. But yes, we have the Rush adaptation of the Utopia deck, which really, instead of having any kind of similar playstyle, is just Utopia guys, but they're at a baseball field. So this deck is made up of things that came along with the Yuka event as well as the new box. Unfortunately, if you didn't actually play out and clear the event, you can't get some of these cards now, which is a shame, but I'm sure on the next rerun, when even more support comes out, you'll be able to play it at that point. But I think this deck is actually really cool, so regardless of if some people don't really have access, I figured I would go ahead and talk about it now. Let's go over our card by card, and like always, we start the card by card with our skill. Our skill is Baseball Rush Duel. Can be activated by revealing one monster with 2000 defense or one Wed-Fri Spirit Stadium in your hand, return to Onward. If all the monsters in your constructed deck are Fire Attribute War type monsters and or Fire Attribute Dragon type monsters, add up the 2 cards, normal monsters and or player number 39 home run hitter and or Wed-Fri Spirit Stadium from your deck to your hand, and set up the 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard. If you send 2 cards to the graveyard this turn, you level 4 normal monsters inflict piercing battle damage. So the main idea behind this deck, and the skill specifically, is to search out the field spell Wed-Fri Spirit Stadium, or if you already have the Wed-Fri Spirit Stadium, to search out some beaters to go along with your plays. The main idea is it's really a beatdown focused strategy. Yeah, surprising, another fire deck that's just looking to beat down the opponent with big numbers. But where baseball has the advantage is the stadium can boost our little 1500 dudes into 1900s and also give them piercing at the very same time, which is a big plus over other fire decks. We also have a really cool play style for the deck where we can send cards we want to the graveyard, which does synergize with some of our effects. We will be, of course, going over those when we get to card by card, but you know. So the real game plan is setting us up for graveyard plays, setting us up for beatdown plays, and also granting piercing, which is really nice. It's good to have all these things covered in one strategy. So the little introduction out of the way, let's go over our cards. First up, we're on 3. Player number 39, Home Run Hitter. This is Yuka's ace monster and our big boss of the deck. You can see he is, in fact, number 39, Utopia. If a face-up Wed-Fri Spirit Stadium is on the field, send 2 face-up level 4 fire attribute monsters from your field to the graveyard. This card gains 2500 attack until the end of this turn, and this turn you could only attack with this card. This essentially just sets you up for one big swing, gaining 25, so it becomes a 5k dude, kind of similar to like the double or nothing effect that you would do in the Utopia OTK combo. But yeah, Home Run Hitter is really just a big beater. He does lack the piercing that our smaller dudes get off the skill, but he is really nice in his own right. I don't think there's no monsters that can just sit raw on the field at a higher attack stat than 5k off the top of my head. So Home Run Hitter essentially outs any big dude, right? But speaking of other cards that out big dudes, we have player number 99, Grand Slam Dragon. This card is the one you'll probably be missing if you didn't do the Yuka unlock. Shuffle 3 fire attribute monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Special summon 1 player 39 home run hitter from your graveyard face of your field. Then this card gains 2000 attack at the end of this turn. So this is another access you can go for your beatdowns, where you can summon out the home run hitter at 25, and this guy goes to 4k, and you're not restricted into attacking with any specific way. Grand Slam Dragon is also a really good card to loop doing something like tributing off a home run hitter for another Grand Slam Dragon, using Grand Slam Dragon again to summon out the home run hitter once again, and getting you all the way up to 2 4K beaters. Really, really, really strong strategy. We're on to Dododo second. If a face-up Feather Spirit Stadium is on the field, pay 500 life points. This turn, this face-up card can be treated as 2 tribute zone or fire attribute monster in attack position. So we're only on 2 of the Dododo second. He's also an unlock card from the event, and honestly, that's just because he isn't really that great. I know we have these big dudes who really want to be summoned out on the field quite often, but the issue with him is he does require the stadium, which if you're doing plays where you're forced to get either stadium or search a different card, you'll be in a much weaker position. Also, doesn't really do much for us when we're trying to stack the graveyard with monsters to use Grand Slam Dragon's effect. We're on 2 of the brand new Phoenix Dragoon. This is actually a funny story behind this card. If you didn't watch my card breakdown video where I went over the new cards, I didn't actually notice this was a new card. I thought it just said Phoenix Dragon and then completely ignored his effect. But if you haven't read this card, if you have 10 or more cards in your deck, send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, gain 300 life, and then if you have a level 8 monster in your graveyard, draw 1 card. So this is a really nice for pitching the home run hitter you might have drawn or revealed skill or added off the skill, pitch it to the grave, draw a card, then tribute summon the Grand Slam Dragon, and summon back out the home run hitter. It's a nice little combo piece, so we're only playing 2 just because we don't want to see too many of this guy, because if we're at a point where we only have like him and then like our spell traps, we're in a really rough position. We'd much rather draw like one of our targets for the skill. We're on 2 Volcano Attack Dragon. You might be looking at this and saying, wait a second, this isn't Blaster's Inferno. What's this guy doing here? Well, if you'll peep the stat line, he is a 2300 attack, 2000 defense fire dragon, which means he fulfills the requirements for our skill. So you can reveal the Volcano Attack Dragon, or you can add the Volcano Attack Dragon with the skill, and then pitch him to grave, which allows you to then activate Secret Order to summon him back. So somehow we've managed to bring back Blaster's Inferno, and I couldn't be happier. Rounding out our vanillas, we have 2 Zubaba Batter, just a good 1500 dude who is in the archetype, and also 3 copies of the Fire Dragon. Why are we on 2 and 3? Well, that's because we are playing the Dragon's Inferno for our Spell Trap Destruction. We are playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dragons, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 warriors. So we're sticking with the Dragon Back Row Destroyer, hopefully being able to use the Fire Dragons that we might search or the Grand Slam Dragons to pop a card on the opponent's back row. Like I mentioned, we are on 3 copies of Secret Order because we are looking to search and send this Volcano Attack Dragon to the graveyard, and we're on our legend spell is Pot of Greed. We are not playing any limit 1 cards, so we have the room for the pot. 3 Dragon's Inferno, like I said. We're playing 1 Tag Up Magic Sacrifice Force. This is our rank up magic, except this doesn't have a rank up magic effect. No, what this card does is you send 1 face of fire attribute monster from your field to the graveyard, or summon 1 level 8 fire attribute monster from your hand face to your field, and if you send a level 8 monster to the graveyard to beat the requirement, you can also destroy 1 spell trap on your opponent's field. So this lets us tag out any of our fire dudes to summon out one of the 2 big boys. As well, if we do a play such as Grand Slam Dragon, summon out Home Run Hitter, use Tag Up, pitch the Home Run Hitter, summon out a second Grand Slam, we can then pop a card in the back row. We're on 2 copies of Feather Spirit Stadium. Why are we on 2? Well, 1, it's searchable, and 2, having too many could be a little bricky. We are on actually a pretty decent number of spell traps and a lot of vanilla monsters, so we don't really want to run the risk of bricking too hard. We're on 1 copy of Executed Writing. This card is super easy to set up in this deck. If I could find space to play more, I would. A really nice play is reveal Home Run Hitter, add some beaters, or add the Stadium while you have beaters and just go a little aggro with that. Set the Executed Writing after you pitch the Home Run Hitter with your skill, and then on the opponent's turn, you have a 2500 attack point monster to be your target for Executed Writing. It really comes up, and I gotta say, it's definitely won me some games. For our Legend Trap, we are playing Trap Hole. I would, of course, love to play Compulse, but I decided to prioritize the Pot of Greed over the Compulse. As well, we cannot play Negate Attack because, once again, the limiting of Pot. Negate Attack's a little awkward right now in the current meta. I just feel like there's a lot of Spell Trap Destruction going around with a lot of the meta decks going for triple Ghost Cyclone. So you'd rather play a card that maybe you can use before they just go for the Ghost Cyclone. Obviously, they both lose the Ghost Cyclone, but when people are maxing out Spell Trap Destruction, I'd rather have a card that can be used immediately rather than waiting on something else. And for our last slot, we are on 1 copy of Buffered Slime because of the current meta, having boss monsters that are within the restrictions of Buffered Slime. Anyway, pretty simple deck profile here. Honestly, these cards aren't too difficult. There is a decent amount of skill expression with the way you use Grand Slam and Home Run Hitter, but it's a really simple deck at its core. It is mostly just a beatdown strategy, so hopefully we can show off the little intricacies in some games. Alright, here we are, game number 1, and our opponent is on Earth Dragons. You can see we're going second, and we drew a pretty decent hand. I mean, you got Pot Greed in the opener, it's always got to be decent. Alright, they're going to go first, and they are setting 1, setting 2, setting 3 monsters and passing. I only imagine those are probably the tribute guys just sitting in hand there, and they want to send them out turn 1. Alright, let's leave Pot of Greed. We should riding return. That's crazy. Ooh, the Grand Slam Dragon. Finally, we activate our skill. Add 2, pitch 2. Oh, is that piercing available to us? Okay, let's just summon this guy. Summon that guy. We had the vibe there on dragons, obviously, because they are using Luke with the Luke skill. So we're just going to go aggro and just punch into what is probably 0 defense dudes. Seeing the 1300 really scared me. It's like, oh man, I'm hoping I don't swing into another one of those Phoenix Dragon. Thankfully, we hit a double Twin Dragon. Another decent option that you could probably use in this deck if you want to max out on more dragon dudes, honestly. Anyway, so they're going to go ahead and normal summon the Dragonic Scout, milling a whole bunch of cards and adding a Dragonic Slayer. Activating their skill, targeting their guy, lowering him down, pitching a Slayer, adding a Dragonic Scout from outside the deck. Cool. Thanks. Normal summoning that second Scout, milling again, activating the effect, turning him to 7, adding the Dragonic Slayer to hand, flipping the double twin. Oh boy, they had 2 of these, so they're going to shuffle 3 back. Go ahead and tribute summon for basically free the Dragonic Slayer. Dragonic Slayer is, of course, going to try and pop back row, but first, we're going to activate Executed Writing, bringing out the Volcano Attack Dragon that we had pitched, so now they have a pretty low Slayer. Tribute summoning for a Demolisher. Demolisher popping our Volcanic Attack Dragon. Tribute summoning another Demolisher, popping another one of our monsters, and then bringing back the Slayer. Slayer effect, popping our last back row, which was honestly nothing, so we can't really be mad about that. But then they swing over and hit us for 15. Okay, well, not really a scary board. We just probably need something to contest that new set back row. Other than that, we're feeling good. This hand isn't really one we're happy about. Oh, let's go Dragon's Fur, pop the back row in his Talismanic Seal Ray. We're going to go ahead and Secret Order, bring out the Volcanic Attack Dragon, so at least we can swing over their Demolisher, summon our other Fire Dragon, set our Trample, and swing over the board. Alright, well, we're in a pretty decent position, I'm sorry. They've used a whole bunch of gas already. You can see all these big dudes engraved. Hopefully they hit a Scout. Alright, well, Scout effect, add Demolisher. Go ahead and summon Fortitude Dragon. Oh boy, now they have this too. At least they didn't hit the trap. Oh, we're milling trap hole. That's good for us. That's very, very good for us. Summoning out the Demolisher. Oh, well, we have trap hole, thankfully. Let's go ahead and pop that guy. They set 3 cards and go ahead and pass. Well, let's kill this guy. Let's beat him to death with hammers. Alright, drawing for turn and finally some targets. Let's go ahead and activate Dragon's Inferno. Just wipe up that last back row. You can see it was another Talismanic Seal Ray. Cool, man. Thanks. Go ahead and pitch 2 cards. And we have Piercing, except we're not going to use those at all. Let's go ahead and summon the Grand Slam Dragon. Grand Slam Dragon effect, shuffle 3 cards back. Summon out the Home Run Hitter that we pitched off our skill. And would you look at that? This is very, very, very lethal. Just lethal. Let's go 29. Yep. 27. And 44 direct, which one taps them. Coming words a little twisted at the end there, but hey, that was still pretty good. We're back with game number 2 and ooh, we're going against heroes. And unfortunately, we're also going first. Hey, at least with a hand like this, so we don't have to worry about getting burned for any damage. Go ahead and draw for turn, and oh god, another spell trap. Well, we can just set the ring pass. Hopefully, Trap Hole can save us against hero. I highly doubt it. Alright, so we're going to pass it up. The opponent goes ahead and sets a monster, ooh, sets a 3rd monster, sets a 4th card, sets a 5th, ooh, they set their entire hand, but hey, at least they didn't kill us. Alright, we can pretty much assume that there's like 3 claimants up there, right? Let's draw for turn. Now we can finally activate our skill because it's turn 2. We're going to add 2 copies of the Fire Dragon, pitch our Home Run Hitter. We probably should have pitched 2 cards here in order to get Piercing on all these dudes, but with a little bit of misplay here. But let's go ahead and wipe this board. Oh wait, we can't because of Clayman. Alright, swinging again. Ooh, double Argent Clayman. Not as bad as I thought. Again, Gotta say, that was honestly a big misplay out of me, not going for the piercing damage. Honestly, there's probably no reason to keep the secret order. Anyway, back to them. They summon the third Argent, and we go ahead and trap hold that, because, hey, cutting them off Argent is pretty damn good. They send their back row, which is Pierce. Of all cards, Pierce. What are you doing playing Pierce? Anyway, normal summoning Sparkman. Fusion summoning the Thunder Giant. Okay, Thunder Giant effect. Pitching a card, popping a card on our field. Setting one, normal summoning Perstintrix. Yeah, that can clear out monsters on board, but I'm not really too scared about this. Thunder Giant is just 2400, which is very weak, just being killed by any of our dudes. And we do have the answers in our back row for their cards. So let's go ahead and normal summon Phoenix Dragoon. Normal summon Zubova Batter. Tribute 2 for the home run hitter. And guess what? It's time to tag out. Activate the effect of tag up magic. Sacrifice Force. Bring out the Grand Slam Dragon. Go ahead and pop that back row. Activate Grand Slam Dragon effect. Ooh, 7 shift the hero. Honestly, what the hell are you even summoning with that? Grand Slam Dragon shuffles 3 guys back and summons back the home run hitter. Now he is a big 4K beater. And last card, of course, Secret Order, bringing out the Volcanic Attack Dragon. So let's go ahead and clean this guy up. Swing in there for 2K and 29 direct for game. Honestly, that wasn't really a very optimized hero deck, but hero usually eats our deck for breakfast, so I'm happy we got a good game. Alright, here we are, game number 3, and you know what that means. A 1v1 versus Master Excel Road. Yeah, I had a bunch of Master Excel Road replays I could have used for this, but I decided to go for this one, which I feel like I actually played the game correctly for once. You can see we're going first, and we actually have a pretty decent opening in. Let's see, we draw for turn, and it's, ooh, another normal one like that. We're going to set everything, which is a pretty pog thing to do. Thankfully, it's against Master Excel Road, not Hero, or else we'd be burned for a whole bunch of damage over these guys. Okay, they draw for turn, set a monster, set a third monster, set a card in the back row, and set another card. Ooh, wow. That's a great opening for them if it was turn 1. Alright, let's see if we can take advantage of this on turn 3, and ooh, you know we are. Reveal the home run hitter. Add Stadium, add Fire Dragon, pitch 2 cards, and activate the Stadium. Go ahead and normal summon another 1500 beater, and guess what? Now we can finally do the piercing plays. But first, let's clean up this back row. We respect our opponent, so we're not attacking the middle. And seeing Recovery Force, maybe we shouldn't respect them too much. Let's go ahead and pierce over everything. Ooh, 1900 over the Wind Magician. Don't know why you're playing that. Ooh, 1900 over the Chaos. Dark Sorcerer, sorry. It's Chaos Orc. It's Chaos Orc. That I can understand. And then 1900 again over the Sevens Road Wiz. I swear, this is a high gold game, okay? But here they go. The start of turn 4, they're going to activate Master Excel Road, revealing the Roadster, adding Sevens Road, adding Sevens Road Witch. Go ahead and pitch Musical Princess. Hey, they must have watched my videos. I usually recommend playing Musical Princess in some of the decks like this if you are on a budget. Anyway, summoning out the Sevens Road Witch. Witch effect, pitching the Talismanic Seal, right? Yeah, usually the one of, for the Sevens Road Magician. Activating Fusion. Oh boy, they're summoning Master. Well, we don't have an answer in the back row for that, I don't think. With the field kind of full, we can't really writing. Well, if that's all they're doing, honestly, I don't think we have much to fear. So they swing in there, and literally any tribute guy clears. We just need to be able to pop the back row. And would you look at that? We found a way to do it. So we're going to activate Secret Order, summoning out the Volcano Attack Dragon, activating Dragon's Inferno, popping the back row. It was Blades of the Divine Wind. Once again, I swear this is high gold. And by high, I mean close to King of Games. Anyway, tributing the home run hitter, activating home run hitter effect, and would you look at that? 5,400! Being able to swing over that over 4K Master Excel Road per game. I swear, I promise, I honestly, oh, listen, I really mean it. I swear, this person was on their King of Games rank up, okay? I swear, you just have to believe me, okay? Alright, so we're back on the deck, and hey, that was pretty good. But with every deck in the game, there are pros and there are cons. So let's start with the pros. We can virtually swing over any monster in the game. Honestly, our dudes become such crazy huge beat sticks that we don't really have to worry about any kind of end board from the opponent. We can pretty much clear everything but an overwhelming number of spell traps when we don't see the spell trap destruction. We also have a very versatile tool set. I'm only on the one tag up magic, but there are plenty of plays. I remember one specific game I played around the first release of this deck where my opponent used 2 different tag up magics to basically summon out a near full board of Grand Slam Dragons at 4k attack and wipe all my background. There's plenty of other fire specific tools you could also be playing this deck. I'm just not doing because I really want to have this streamlined and be very consistent. There are also other generic tools you can use. Having access to pretty much any fire dragon you want in deck is really nice for us. There are other fire dragons you could be using. We could be using our 1-0 slot on the actual Phoenix Dragon, which is a nice boon for the deck, being able to add back Grand Slam Dragons, or for whatever reason you want a Volcano Attack Dragon, maybe you need it to trigger your skill, you'd be able to do that. There's also a world where we max out executed writings, and instead of looking to loop the home run hitter with Grand Slam Dragon, instead we're looking to loop it with executed writing, just always having this big guy that can jump out and jump scare the opponent if they just play too loose. We also have access to cards like Sacred Order, which are super powerful thanks to the Volcano Attack Dragon synergy, and our skill basically makes sure we never really have to worry about having little dudes to tribute. Just being able to bind them if we open any of the tribute summons is really nice for us. But all decks that have pros also have cons. So here's the problems with the deck. First of all, the only piercing we get are on the little dudes, and they go as high as 1900. That's not great for us. We're also usually absolutely devoured by hero. If we're not killing the opponent, we're ending on a 2500 or a 2k dude, and that is just prime for a Flame Wingman to devour. We honestly get absolutely walled as well by cards like Clayman, because like I said, we go as high as 1900, so it's really rough there. Another thing is we super lose to backward. Going for a home run hitter for over 5k swing is nice, it's cool, but that loses super hard to engage attack, it loses hard to buffered slime. It's just not really a great play, and sometimes that's all we can do, and we just end up losing from there. There's also the issue of the number of spell traps we're playing, so sometimes like you saw in those games, we just opened the spell traps and the little guys, and we just got lucky on a turn 2 draw of one of our targets. Another limiting factor is our skill does need at least 1 discard, and in a world where we're looking to tribute summon a whole bunch of dudes, it can be really rough when we're constantly having to pitch cards. Yeah, usually we're trying to get the home run hitter back with the Grand Slam Dragon, but the Grand Slam Dragon itself is not searchable off the skill, which is pretty rough for us. This is of course also a deck that relies on a field spell, so we are forced to play this, which is another card that could just brick us if we only see spell traps, which we are on yet again, I will reiterate, a lot. But overall, I'm really happy with this deck. I honestly think that baseball is in a really good position right now. I think it definitely works out and being a very strong strategy that will definitely be able to get you to King of Games. And maybe with future support, it can get you a little bit higher. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the deck. Thank you again so much for watching. Goodbye.